It's week 2 of the 2024 season, and our focus goes to Jalen Johnson. He's one of the last guys you want to target in coverage. It's the Bears and the Texans on Sunday night.
Our coverage of the NFL has brought us to Space City and NRG Stadium, right next to where the old Astrodome sits, here in Houston, Texas. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Kaimi Fairbairn ready to get this one going. And we're off and running from Houston. Return coming from the 6. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. So out come the Bears, ready for their first possession. And leading them out to the #1 overall pick in this year's draft out of USC, a player with immense promise, Caleb Williams.
That's a loss last week, Kate, that he wears. He's worn it all week long, and I know he isn't the only guy out there. There's 11 on the side on every play. But a couple of interceptions, he's going to hold himself accountable. A lot of work's gone into making sure this week's game is an improvement on that. There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Out of the gun, here's Williams. He gets this to Tyler Scott. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Working from the gun, Williams. That's complete, Cole Kmet. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Sticking in the air, it's Williams. Odunze's got it, right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one goes for 25 yards. And that's a Chicago first down.
Just excellent effort on that catch, and a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
Shotgun handoff to Herbert. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Halfway there on first down, that brings up 2nd and 5. To the left and hauled in by Odunze. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. Running right with Herbert. And he's able to bring this one down to the 4-yard line. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. Complete on the option. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, they got him down before he could do any more damage in terms of yards. And that's no easy job, mind you, tackling a big tight end. But the main damage had already been done.
And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Bears finish up an excellent opening series. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
That one splits the uprights. And the Bears will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. On the return, here comes Tank Dell. This return makes it up to the 25. So now it's the Texans' turn to take the field for the first time. And leading them out is someone who became an absolute superstar last year as a rookie. Drafted second in 2023, it's C.J. Stroud.
It didn't take long for C.J. Stroud to make an immediate impact into the NFL, and it didn't take long for me, Kate, to form an opinion that this guy is just different. He just processes the game quicker. Remember talking to Ryan Day on the practice field in Columbus, watching him in college, and he just alluded to that as well. It's the anticipation. It is knowing where everybody is and getting that ball out before any receiver will even break on a route. C.J. was unique in that way, and that skill set has been a big part of his success.
Moves slated downs to approach here from the 40. Stroud throwing here on first. That pass caught by Tank Dell. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Stroud off the play fake. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stroud. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter, it's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Well, that's like a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Takes both to make it work. And defensively, you've got to have that pressure up front. That's peanut butter. And then you'd like to have some jelly. And that was almost a huge play with an interception.
And this one did hit at the 8, but took a big bounce and finished its journey in the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense out there for their 2nd drive of the contest. And they take the field exactly where they want it to be, Brock. Up a touchdown early and with the home crowd a little quieter than normal.
I'm not going to lie to you, Kate. I think most quarterbacks, competitors love playing on the road when they do just this. Just quiet them, right? Turn them against their own team. They were quiet after that opening touchdown. You score another one, they're going to start to murmur, and we might even hear a few boo birds.
From the 23, Komet brings it in. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
First and 10 from the 41. Now a give right side to Herbert. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good for a Bears first down. On the ground, it's Herbert again. And they're going to bring him down after a good gain to the 40. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. Williams from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And they get this down to the 28. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first. Trying an inside give to Herbert. And he'll only get this to the 26 before going down. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. Williams to throw. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Here's Williams. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on 3rd down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. 4th down coming up. The Bears bring on Cairo Santos for the field goal. From the left hash, this would be 43 yards. Cardi's kick is good. And their special teams converts to get them something out of that possession.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
This return starts at the 5. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Now we'll see the Houston offense for their second drive of the contest. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Stroud. He's got this complete to Dameon Pierce. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
Well, that was great timing. Great timing by the big fellas to get out in front of that screen. You could see it coming. Running back has the lineman in front of him to clear a little space. It was all about his athleticism after that.
And he stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. They'll run here following the penalty. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And the Texans are going to have a first down. Right back it goes to Pierce. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Tackle made by Jaquan Brisker. We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. 2nd down now, 7 to go. From the gun, Stroud. As his man, it's DeAndre Hopkins. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the... Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! Bears pick it up, headed the other way. At the 20. And they finally drag him down, but not until after a very nice return. Well, I love that. There was no thought of just covering it up, was there? He just grabbed it, instantly got his eyes upfield, and was looking for where to return it.
Now, I think you could hear what I could hear, Kate. What we hear on a practice field, scoop and score, scoop and score. They work on it, they rep it, they teach it. Well, they did the scooping, and now it's incumbent on the offense to go score.
The Bears about set for their next possession. They're sure to be appreciative of this as they start out 1st and goal from the 4. A chance to pay off their defense's effort as they start out 1st and goal. Throwing now, following the turnover. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. Now here's Williams. Fires right away, but incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Still a couple of shots at this one. Williams set to pass. This one's caught. Touchdown, Chicago. So he looks to and finds the big fella, and his tight end takes it in for 6.
Such a reliable weapon down in the red zone. You know, kind of reminds me like a point guard making an entry pass to that post player. When you trust your big people around you, and when a quarterback trusts his tight end like that, it makes a difference.
Santos now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bears take a 3-possession lead. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Dell now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. On play action, here's Stroud. Finds a seam down the middle. Now he's past the 25. DeAndre Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans lower the deficit they face. DeAndre Hopkins, the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. You gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Here's Parker Washington with the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Here come the Bears back out on offense. They have been automatic scoring in this quarter, and yet another opportunity to do so here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun here. Scott reels it in. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. They'll take that kind of passing from the rookie out of USC. He gets him the first.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, well, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
One play in, and already they're close to midfield. Williams to throw on first. He's on the move. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Williams. We'll just huck this one into row C, and some lucky fan is going to haul in a heck of a souvenir. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Working from the gun, Williams. He'll get this complete to Mooney. And he's tackled for a short gain. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. It's a 2-score game early. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. On 4th down, it's Torrey Taylor on for the Bears to punt this away. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. The Texans and DeAndre Hopkins getting sent for this next offensive possession. And they've had a real connection looking his way in our opening half. Seems pretty clear that he's the one the coverage is going to have to adjust to and start slowing down. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. That's a catch for Nico Collins. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They pick up 20 yards there. And it sets up a Houston first.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Only took him one play, partner, and they've already made it to that 40-yard line. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
And he gets him around 6 there. Sent to the ground by Kyler Gordon. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. They'll go right back to Pierce. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
First down, Stroud. Complete to Dell. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Texans are going to have a first down.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
First down from the red zone. Schultz with the catch. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun handoff to Pierce. Cut. And he'll get this across. Touchdown, Houston. The Texans reduce the lead to just 4. Well, he found himself some space to work, and from there, all athleticism as he made his way in for 6.
You know, you run the ball down in the red zone, Kate, you're not always thinking touchdowns, right? Space is so hard to come by. But you're exactly right. His athleticism, his explosion, his speed, it puts 6 on the board for the offense.
That one right down the middle. And the Texans cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Return starts at the 3. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Chicago getting set to take the field now. They didn't add to their lead last time out, so they punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. First down, Williams escapes the pocket. He can run it. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Well, I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains. It's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and to get that critical first down.
And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And he'll get this through midfield and starts pushing into Texans territory. 3rd and just 2 to go. To throw is Williams. That's caught for the first. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it. Herbert straight ahead. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. That tackle made by Blake Cashman.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Flushed out of the pocket. Steps up, and he's running with it. And he breaks out the slide. Didn't want to take a hit, but he is just shy of the first down marker. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. A run now with Herbert. And they take him down right along the 30. 2 yards on the pickup. And that's a Chicago first down. Again, they'll run with Herbert. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. Jalen Petrie there on the stop. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. This time it's a passing play. That one's incomplete over the middle. Just got a hand up on that to break it up. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Now Williams. Throw complete to Herbert. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. That's good for 7 yards. And that's good for a Bears first down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Offense to the line for second down. Sticking in the air, it's Williams. Has a man, it's Scott. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion. Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter, but they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Carney's kick is good. And that'll double their lead to 6.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Dell now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And they have made it no secret that they want to go his way in this game, right? And the results so far, I'd say very promising. Stroud throwing here on first. Hopkins on the slant. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Back to throw, Stroud. That one complete to Hopkins. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the gun, here's Pierce. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. And it sets up a Houston first. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at NRG. The Texans in need of some points before the break. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Cut near the goal line. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. Give them about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown! But there's a flag down. Might be defensive, though. I think this touchdown should stand. So after some careful consideration, they're going to go ahead and decline the penalty. Fairbairn now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And they'll take the lead. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Bears and Khalil Herbert to take over once more. And normally they'd need this out, Brock, but facing such a small deficit, good chance they try to get a field goal here before the break. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First down throw by Williams. Looking slant route, complete. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Williams from the gun. That's brought in by Mooney. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Here's 2nd and 2. Nearly intercepted. Ooh, he almost had it. Couldn't bring it in. Incomplete. That brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. Williams to throw on first. That one falls incomplete, but our attention's still behind the line. He got cleaned after that throw and drew the instant flag. Man, there's no way around this, Brock. They had that offense exactly where they wanted them, and the penalty gives them a whole lot more breathing room.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the late, great Dennis Green. He said it perfectly. We had him right where we wanted, and we let him off the hook.
The Bears bring on Cairo Santos for the field goal. From the left hash, this will be from 50. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And they've taken back the lead.
Give him the first half trifecta. He's 3 for 3 on field goals. And as much as they'd like 6 points to end drives, not 3, they can at least be happy they're getting consistent looks inside field goal range, and he's delivering.
Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on 1st down. Looking to throw. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bears in front. Now we'll send you east to our studios in Orlando. That's where Jonathan Coachman is waiting to bring you the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone. This is the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get you caught up on what's going on around the National Football League. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, where it was the visiting Rams who come in and get the victory on the road. Cooper Kupp, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. It was a solid first half for running back Khalil Herbert. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the third quarter. Returning it from the 4. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Texans and C.J. Stroud all set to go for their next drive. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Stroud off the play fake. Collins there to grab it. And this one does not go far. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Stroud. Into the hands of Schultz. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
So 3rd down becomes much tougher for him as 3rd and 1 becomes 3rd and a much more difficult 6. Following the flag, it's 3rd and 7. From the gun, Stroud. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And it's going to be Bears football. The Bears offense now heads back out to the field. They've certainly had no issue scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they can really use some more points on this drive. Scott reels it in. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Jadeveon Clowney on that stop. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Throwing out to the left, cut! And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's really good instinct by the eyes up in the sky. The play caller seeing space on the perimeter, a well-timed screen, and a positive gain out of it.
And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. They'll give to Herbert. And they'll bring him down after a small gain to the 48. Just a couple on the pickup there, so back-to-back runs leave him with a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Williams. That's caught for the first. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Here's Herbert. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Jadeveon Clowney on that stop. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. On the ground, it's Herbert. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Kamari Lassiter getting up there to make the stop. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Herbert. And he could not get there. They stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and that brings up a tough decision for them on 4th down.
You know, I'm not sure what else could have been done there, Kate. Just the right call defensively to come up with a 3rd and short stop.
Looks like they will indeed try it. 4th and 2. Shotgun handoff to Herbert. And he's going to take this only to about the 31. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on downs.
Well, a blitz on 4th down's a gutsy call, but it can work against a pass or a run. Good luck running for the sticks when you got a whole defense crashing you right off the snap.
The Texans drive. All their scoring has kept them close, but they still find themselves trailing by just a little in this 3rd quarter. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. This is complete to Schultz. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Sometimes you're looking to push the ball down the field. But as I've said before, the crumbs lead to a cookie. And you never go broke taking a profit, and those big tight ends will often find you those easy check down yards.
Schultz with the catch. That one goes for 70 yards and moves the chains.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the pass game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
Completed to Collins. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Tyreek Stevenson getting up to track that one down. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They kick the running back in motion. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. They are throwing it again. Finding Collins. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Pierce up the middle, and he doesn't get this one very far, down to only about the 18. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4. Stroud. The Bears closing in, and they'll get him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Hey, that's not an easy thing to do, Kate. Not against quarterbacks and the red zone offenses in this league, but what a tremendous effort to not only get the stop, but to end it with gusto and a sack.
Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. It's from the right hash, 46 yards. Eberle's kick is good, and they've taken back the lead.
A dependable kicker, man, that is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Return coming from the 6. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Bears and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. 1st down, Williams. He'll get this complete to Mooney. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Now Herbert. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that's a Chicago 1st down. On the ground, it's Herbert again. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Will Anderson Jr. in on the stop. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Trying an inside give to Herbert. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one. Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And this is the punt you want every time. He bounces out of bounds and sticks them inside their own 10. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's Stroud. Into traffic, complete. And they're able to drag him down as he reaches the 15-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Handoff, headed left, Pierce. Works the sideline to the 30. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down.
Best run games in this league at balance can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. On play action, here's Stroud. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And he will score. It's a Houston touchdown. The Texans lengthen the lead at the end of the third. DeAndre Hopkins, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here, but his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his second touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game? Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Washington now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Chicago's offense trotting out there for another series. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They run, it's Herbert. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
It's a give here for Herbert. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Derek Stingley putting that play to bed. 6 yards on the run as we've reached the end of our third quarter. That's the end of the third on Sunday night. The Bears have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. Third down, 1 yard to go. To him inside. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Just a single yard, but that's going to be enough to move the chains. First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Back to the well again. And he stopped after running it up across the 45 to the 46. It's a solid 7-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3. Early movement along the right side. The flag comes out. One of the most common penalties in the sport, and the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards. Running it after the penalty. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
And he's going to run this down to the 36-yard line. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. Back-to-back carries here. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to first down. But instead, the defense, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. Off the play fake, Williams. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
They call play action. Would have been better to actually give it to him on a carry right there, Kate. The front was fooled for about a split second, if that. And that play call ended up working in their favor as it leads to a sack.
They really need some chunk yardage here on second down. Another try following the sack. Completed here to Komet. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. The Texans going with a dime set here. We've got 6 DBs for third down. Williams from the gun. And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and third downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those. This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The home team out on offense by their quarterback. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Now it's Stroud. He completes it in traffic. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Stroud. He's got Pierce. And he's brought down for a loss.
That pass, it did put him in a position where he had to shake a defender. That's all you want. Give me a one-on-one. And he is capable of doing it, but not against that dude. That defender could not be shook, and he knocked him back.
Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, the game wasn't on the line with that series, but don't tell the defense because they brought the urgency and juice like it was. Getting the sack, setting up 4th down, well, it picks everybody up on that sideline, and now their offense gets a chance in a 1-score game.
The Texans set to punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Averaging over 50 yards a kick, and this is another one well hit. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Nice kick there. It's a punt of 53 yards. And it's going to be their football coming up. The Bears with some nice field position as they get set. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Throw complete to Herbert. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. And it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Pass caught by Adunze. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for a Bears 1st down. They're set up at the 35 now. Herbert straight ahead. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. 1st down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. From the 31. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up. Williams on the play action. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Working inside the red zone. He brings it in. And he's going to be just inside the 10 before he goes out. On that last call, not sitting well with D'Amico Ryans. He's going to make them review it. Well, we're going to see how much of a sideline maven he is, Brock. This one very close, whether he got the feet down or not.
And I'm so impressed by all these mavens because you've got to make that transition from college where 1 foot, you're good.
Yep.
But not at this level. You've got to be a ballerina. You've got to get those toes both in, and the replay booth will be the judge of it.
Well, that didn't break out how they thought it would, and they're going to lose the first of their 3 timeouts for their trouble. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And then brings up 3rd down. Sticking in the air, it's Williams. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
Running back sent in motion. Desperation time here on 4th. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Hey, I am all for aggression. You get 4 downs, go for it. But I do have to wonder here, Kate, after being denied once again, is there going to be a trust level on that sidelines to go for it the next time they get this shot?
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. Connection made to Dell. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Running left, it's Pierce. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Try getting it to Nico Collins. So 2nd down coming up. Shotgun now for Stroud. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the one he was looking for. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. To the air, Stroud. Dell with the grab. And that will not be enough for a 1st down.
Awareness. You've got to be aware. Play caller, quarterback, receiver have to be aware of where the sticks are. That route just not enough, not deep enough to extend the drive and move the chains.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Their offense running back out now. They liked how that drive was going, but the ND and the turnover on downs, yeah, that's something they'll try to rewrite on this series. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play, but they will take that execution every time.
1st down throw by Williams. And a man is there to knock that away.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Looking to throw. He has the first over the middle. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Williams. And that's incomplete, but he might have done a little too much to cause that. Flag comes out, and this could be interference. So a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. Williams to throw on first. It's into the hands of Mooney. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
2nd and 3 now. From the 24. Has his man, it's a Dunze. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. The Bears decide to call their first time out. They're now set for 1st and 10. A run now with Herbert. And they'll surrender just a lone yard. That brings up 2nd down.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
And this is down all the way to the 3. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal. Setting up to pass. We've got a screen to the running back. And he will score and give him the lead in the final minute. So what a finish this is shaping up to be. The late touchdown here, Brock, moves them in front.
And week to week, what a pleasure it is for us to call these games.
And he's into the end zone, so that turns out to be a very smart risk. They've got the lead in this 4th quarter. Well, Brock, the run's certainly an option as they lined up for 2, but as an offense, what are you looking for when you decide to throw it instead?
Well, you've spent all week working on these plays, and usually you have 2 or 3 that you like. That run game, you're right, you could run it, but there's so much more space with creativity in the passing game. And good offenses, elite offenses, they find a way not just to practice it, but to execute it when it matters.
Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. He's stopped on the return at the 27. This offense and their quarterback making their way back out there, ready to take over once again. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw it. Complete to Dell. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Before we can get a snap on 2nd down, they call timeout. Back to throw. He's on the move. Now here he goes. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Signals, and looks like we've got a timeout before that 1st down play. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Time not on their side here as they get set for 1st down. No timeouts remaining either. Here he is to throw. Completed to Collins. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. Hurry up offense now as time runs down. And that's incomplete, and it also stops the clock with just 5 seconds left. Kaimi Fairbairn on now as we see how he handles this moment. So a timeout's taken, just 5 seconds left, and after the pause, we're going to see our last play of the game. Now it's Kaimi Fairbairn on to try it for the Texans. He was money on his first field goal, Brock. His second coming a little inside of 50 yards. Looking good, and it's through. And in the final moments, they force overtime.
Overtime rested on his leg, Kate, and he got the job done. And now, well, if things go a specific way in OT, the next time we see him line up, it could be for the game winner.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. First down, Williams. Great work by the coverage downfield, buys him enough time to catch him outside the pocket. Man, this has been such a great game. Nobody is ready for it to end just yet. After 4 quarters, we're headed to overtime. All right, so in overtime, Brock, we could see 1 possession or we could see 3+. If the team who gets it first scores, the game ends then and there. A field goal or less, and we play on, and their opponents get a chance to respond. And if we're still tied after those first 2 possessions, this soccer chick likes this. It's golden goal football, Brock. The next score would win. And hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. Dell now to return it. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. Now we get a look at this Texans offense. They couldn't quite get the job done in regulation, but the home crowd rising now to fire them up and help them finish the job right away in OT. Ball at the 33 for first down. From the gun, here's Pierce. And he drives this forward until they bring him down at the 38-yard line. Halfway there on first down, that brings up 2nd and 5. From the 38. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. 14 yards as the chains reset.
Well, the odds aren't great when you throw into double coverage. Normally you see one of the defenders make a play on the ball. 2 men nearby, and that's a missed opportunity for the coverage to make an impact play.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Looking to throw, Stroud. Has him on the quick hitter. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. 2nd and 3 now. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. That's caught for the first. And they bring him down around the 34. That one gains 7. And the Texans are going to have a first down. Back to throw, Stroud. That one complete to Hopkins. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it sets up a Houston first. Now it's Stroud. Throw right side, Dell has it. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Shotgun handoff to Pierce. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running line.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you could just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
Has it down close. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line. Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Stroud. Oh, and he nearly had the interception, but he couldn't reel it in. That's the big overtime play they needed, but still, 4th down coming up. Kaimi Fairbairn on now as we see how he handles this moment. Only a 20-yarder here. It's good, the kick sails through. And the pressure now applied to that opposing sideline.
The important part, they've got the lead here in overtime after the short field goal. But with how close they got, the touchdown was in play. And you gotta hope that you can get the stop here and not live to regret that series stalling out.
And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. This offense getting all set for this series. Their defense held at least a little, Brock, but the pressure is still on. They need a field goal to keep this game going or a touchdown to end it.
And I can promise you right now, lie detector test in that huddle, every single one of those guys have asked, says, I want a touchdown. I'm not even thinking of a field goal. That should be your mindset to go finish this game right now.
Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's a Chicago 1st down.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the first defender. Heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
Getting out to his left. He takes it himself. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's good for a Bears 1st down.
When a play breaks down, every once in a while you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on that ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that one.
Out of the gun, here's Williams. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down. Williams from the gun. Buys time, rolling right. He's keeping it. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out.
Well, you don't get the 1st down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right, they win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Can't cover it much better than that really well-covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Houston calls it 2nd timeout, as they'll be left with just one more to work with here in OT. Important moment as they turn to Cairo Santos. It's from the right hash, 46 yards. The kick is good, he got it! And we're gonna keep on keeping on here in overtime.
He'll take a short moment to be congratulated by his teammates. Then, well, it's right back to that kicking net on the sideline. Got to stay warm in case he's called on again, because the next score wins.
Fielded at the 7. And he's gonna make this to the 28 before going down. Houston's offense back out now and ready to go. To reference another type of football I'm quite familiar with, Brock, we're in sudden death now, baby. Golden goal territory. The next score is going to win it, and they get the first shot.
And I think play caller, offense, quarterback should all be confident, right? You know now with your kicker and the confidence he has for making that last kick, just get yourself in the range and go get that W.
That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can...
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions you get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it, except for this defense that just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Another try following the sack. Finding Collins. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Here's Stroud. Oh, and he nearly had the interception, but he couldn't reel it in. That's the big overtime play they needed, but still, 4th down coming up. On now comes their punter, and this needs to be a good one. And he calls for the fair catch, and he's got it at the 14-yard line. No return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. They're out and set, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Herbert. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. Here he goes on the bootleg. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete. This one misses the tight end. And that leaves him with 3rd and short. Now to throw. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30. He gets 6 on that play. And that's a Chicago 1st down. On the ground, it's Herbert. Broke through the tackle. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Timeout taken by the offense, their 2nd. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Out of the pistol, Williams. Finds him over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They'll give to Herbert. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the 1st down. New set of downs for him from the 46. Prior to 1st down, they decide to call a timeout. And they'll be unable to stop the clock again here in overtime. New set of downs for him from the 46. First down throw by Williams. Escapes the pocket. That one hits the ground, incomplete, but a flag also hit the ground. Let's sort this out. So they let 1st down stand since it worked out well for him. The penalty declined. That brings up 2nd and 10. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Working from the gun, Williams. Passing struggles, bleeding over from that last play. He's forced to get rid of this one. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Here he is to throw. Oh, and he nearly had the interception, but he couldn't reel it in. That's the big overtime play they needed, but still, 4th down coming up. To throw. Throwing deep for the end zone. And he swats that deep shot away, but he better not celebrate just yet. Looks like his contact drew a flag. They may still get this yardage. That's no way to end a game, right, Brock? Can't have a defensive penalty on the final play, so an untimed down coming up. The kick is good. He got it. And they've taken back the lead. So the Bears take this one on the road. And they only needed to set him up with a shot to connect and win it with 3, and his aim was true to make it happen and put an end to this competitive ball game. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Bears winners, as we'll see you next time from Houston.